What is up, everyone? Welcome to Reality Room Podcast with Chris. And today we're going to be talking about episode 1 of Discovery Plus's new reality show, Love in the Jungle. Episode 1, Mating Like Animals. Pretty crazy, right? So I have a lot of thoughts and opinions about this show. It really kind of reminded me of like a Jungle Book. Jungle Book meets like Too Hot to Handle meets like fucking Tarzan. It's crazy. And I definitely think that the show itself is pretty nuts. So we're gonna go into the episode right now because this was actually a pretty long episode. But let's go over it. Okay. So we start off with Dylan. He's been single for 2 years now, and he is claimed to be a mandrill, which I don't know what that really is. I don't know. Lindsay claims that she's a tiger. She's been dating in Miami, and she claims to be passionate and aggressive. Yeah, passionate and aggressive, guys. And then we have like this really crazy ass voiceover. And I gotta say, with this voiceover, I have my thoughts on it because Too Hot to Handle, they kind of do the voiceover like a little bit, but they don't do it the same way, like that. Too Hot to Handle, they have like this little like air freshener thing that comes up, but it's basically like this guy talking to like these people as if they were like, I don't even know like what you would even want to call it, like crazy. So we have Stefan comes in, claims he's a bee. Lindsay says that Stefan is the Tarzan to her Jane. Like I said before, we have a lot of Disney like camaraderie here. I said Jungle Book meets Too Hot to Handle, but we'll see. I don't really know. So yeah, and then he starts playing the guitar. Like, I guess he's allowed to bring that in there. Rachel comes in. She claims to be a butterfly, and she likes to put herself out there. And she thinks that Stefan is hot. Now, remember, Stefan is the one that claims to be, the bee. So, yeah, Stefan's the bee. Okay, so yeah, then Austin comes in as a koala. And Austin, I honestly thought immediately from like the first second I looked at him, I immediately thought that he wasn't going to make it on this show. He just looks a little bit more different than the other guys. He kind of stood out as like the older person compared to like the rest of the people in this cast. So I thought he was going to stand out for sure. We have Michaela, claims to be a wolf. She says she would definitely choose the attraction. Well, you came on the right show. You definitely came on the right show. Sal claims to be an otter. Flirtatious not working out for him. And he wants to be in a monogamous relationship. And we're going to talk about that later because Sal is someone I am very curious about in regards to this show completely. Dishin comes out as a duck. Quack. And Stephanie comes out as a peacock. She claims to be a pageant girl. She travels 6 months out of the year. She's trying to look for a little bit extra. Paige claims to be a starfish. She's also an athlete, and Jordan is a turtle. And he said he was a late bloomer at 19. So maybe I think Jordan was the one. Yeah, Jordan was the one that I thought was the older one, not Austin. So then they hear like this blowhorn, they hear this blowhorn or whatever, and it is the mating ritual. So, they have to kind of like, the voiceover person was saying like how the two toads mating, mustache toads, whatever, these mustache toads they made and stuff like that. I didn't know there was toads that had mustaches. That was really weird. So basically, it's like their first challenge, and the person who wins this challenge, and it's just between the guys, can choose two girls to go on a date with, and they're allowed to talk, which is really great. Yeah, so the challenge is they have these mustache shields that they basically have to battle out and push the other person off the platform. And this will probably just go for 3 rounds and then one final round. So they have a chance to take 2 girls out and go on a date. So Sal versus Dylan, Sal wins. Austin versus Dishin, Austin wins. Austin also at this point claims that he's a nurse. Jordan versus Stefan, Stefan wins, and then it's a battle between Sal, Austin, and Stefan. And then Stefan wins, and he's allowed to take 2 girls to go on a date with. Okay, so let's just talk about that. So Stefan obviously has a huge advantage when it comes to Stefan has a huge advantage when it comes to this because the fact that he's allowed to like just take 2 girls with him shows that he's got a lot of advantageous stuff going for him. So yeah, like it's kind of crazy to think that just from winning this competition he could just take 2 girls out. So because the 2 girls would like moving forward with the episodes would automatically like take him further. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think down in the comments, like what you think of Stefan winning this competition, because I think that Stefan really put himself in a really good position right now. Being able to choose the 2 girls and winning this competition to kind of prove like how he's strong. Testing. Okay, I think I might have cut out. I'm not too sure. Testing. Okay, yeah. So, what do you guys think about Stefan winning this competition? Because I think Stefan winning this competition totally puts him at such an advantage, like completely. So yeah, I think he's at a huge advantage completely in this game. So yeah. Okay, so then they go back to the nest, and let me tell you, the nest looks really, 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 really cool. I actually thought that the nest has it's a cool vibe to hang out with, and obviously they're all just gonna sleep there. I don't think it's like between like women and men and stuff like that. So yeah, I thought it was cool that they showed this portion of it, and a lot of them started like getting freaky. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised honestly because they're not even like able to talk or do anything. So not surprised. They start painting on each other, and yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, it's definitely crazy for sure. Sal and Lindsay, Sal and Lindsay like start making out and stuff like that, and so obviously those two are going to be tight. What else? So Sal and Lindsay. Then they start like dancing, and then Stefan now has to choose. So after this make out, whatever the fuck, Stefan now has to choose 2 people, 2 girls to go on this date with, and this is like really what's going to determine like how long he stays in this house. So Stefan chooses Michaela and Paige, and Lindsay is obviously really pissed off because Lindsay really likes Stefan, and so I thought that I have a feeling that's going to come into play later on. Like Lindsay's probably going to be like really pissed off like next episode with him for not choosing him. Yeah, so it's kind of crazy to think that something like that can just easily change. So yeah, where are we at? Yeah, Lindsay's pissed off. Dylan wanted Michaela. Yeah, Dylan wanted to be with Michaela, so that was definitely he's not Dylan's not happy. Okay, so the 3 of them are able to talk, and they go on like this somewhat weird ass picnic thing. I don't even know what the fuck it's called. They go in like this weird picnic grass area, and it's this this was really what got to me. Like this is what really got to me. So he goes with these two girls, right? They're able to communicate for each other for the first time, and they do they do like a pretty good job. But Stefan talks about wanting to have kids, like with the both of them. And then it gets like really awkward when Stefan is with Paige. They start making out or whatever, and like Michaela's just sitting there watching, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, why are you not like jealous or pissed off? Like he chose you to go on the date, and now they're making out in front of you. So I'm just like really confused. I was just really confused by that completely. So yeah, I was confused by that. And then Michaela, takes Stefan from Paige. And I thought that was good on her part because she's probably like, well, what the fuck am I doing on this date if I'm just going to leave anyways? So she talks to him and she basically tells him, like, who would you rather choose to go on this date with, me or Paige? And he can't answer the question. And foreshadowing later, there's a reason why he couldn't answer that question. And it's probably going to piss off Michaela later on in like the future episodes or whatever. But I would be pissed off right now. Like, what the fuck? Like, why wouldn't you choose? I really don't understand. Okay, so now we have like this elimination portion of it, which, by the way, this elimination place looks really cool, like way better than Survivor, like altogether. And they have to start like exchanging like their necklaces, which I don't really understand why I even give them the necklace that represents their animal in the first place if they're just going to exchange it, because I don't know, are they supposed to like be the new animals that these people are trading their necklaces with? That's yeah. I don't know. I didn't watch episode 2 yet, so I'd have to figure that out later. But yeah. So elimination happens. Stefan chooses Paige, and like I said before, this is exactly why Michaela's going to be pissed off at Stefan later down the episodes, because Stefan clearly is not in this show for marriage, like at all. He's not in it, guys. He's not in it for the marriage. He wants like he just wants to be with the girls. So I think that like he knows this, and I guess it's only been like what 2 or 3 days before this elimination or banishment. So that's really gonna come later on into play when things get like real fucking serious. Yeah. So then Austin and I think Austin. Yeah, Austin chooses Stephanie. Then they start making out. Um, and then we get to Jordan. And Jordan, I had a feeling I had a feeling at this point that Jordan was not going to find anybody. But Jordan says no one really talked to him or showed him any sort of affection whatsoever. So he chooses someone who was really nice to him, and I thought it was really like good on his part that he chose Michaela, because I don't think Michaela would have gotten a necklace from like I don't think he would have, if he picked anyone else, like they would have approved. So good on his part for doing that. Then Jordan chooses Jordan chooses Michaela, and Michaela says yes, which I was a little surprised at. Then Dylan gets up, and Dylan chooses Lindsay, but Lindsay was like, nah, I ain't taking this. And I thought this was an interesting portion with Lindsay, only because the thing with Lindsay is that clearly she's also in the same boat as like Stefan kind of is. Like they're just only in this game to like fool around, obviously, but it's also like way too early on to say if that's like their true their true purpose of even being on the show in the first place. So I thought that was interesting that she refused. So Dishon chooses Rachel, and then Sal gets up and asks for Lindsay's necklace, and Lindsay says yes. Now, I honestly thought that that was probably a mistake on Lindsay's part, because Sal is a player, guys. He's going to be playing with all these other girls. I don't think Sal's going to be really too serious with Lindsay. I think Sal really didn't have a choice, to be honest. So Dylan gets banished and is able to speak. And he tells Lindsay like straight out, like, you chose like the partier guy, and it's gonna like completely backfire on you. So I think Lindsay made a huge mistake doing this. But but yeah, and this is what I want to say about this episode and the show in general, because I think the concept of the show is actually really interesting. But I am curious as to like what like why are they on this show? Are they on this show to fool around, to find a person to be in a relationship with, or to find someone to marry? Because I mean, the show is really just more of an experimental show than a like marriage show or a relationship show. So I don't know. What do you guys think down in the comments? Like, what do you think about Lindsay and Stefan's choices? Because that was honestly that for me determined like how the episodes were gonna go down completely. So I don't know. That's what I thought. Yeah, and so we have a new person coming in, a new primate has entered. And obviously it's so now it's gonna be one girl. Well, yeah, one more girl than the guys. So it's switched at this point. Yeah, and so that was it with this episode. I'm gonna do episode 2 tomorrow. I try to use OBS and it's some reason the fucking mic's just not even working. So let me know what you guys think about this episode down in the comments. Yeah, because I have my doubts. Like a lot. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below.